Hi, my name's Anuj.
And I'm Ankita, and we're from the NIST Falcon News team.
Since you were coming, we sent out a wide email to the rest of the school, and students asked questions, and we're going to ask you those questions. The first question would be,
So many of us see your greatest achievement as Game of Thrones, but once Game of Thrones concludes, what are the projects that you'll be working on concluding?
Well, thank you for the question. I'm almost been doing this for 25 years, so I think I've done 70 movies. While we've been shooting Game of Thrones, I've been doing other movies. I'm just going to continue working as an actor. The next thing that's coming out, I think you can check that out now on Netflix, called Small Crimes. There's another one called Shot Caller. Next year, there's a movie called Domino. I'll just be working.
That's great.
my second question is, have you read any of the Game of Thrones books? And how did you envision playing the character for Jamie Lannister?
Well, I read the first book, and then I noticed that the scripts are quite different. It's an adaptation, and I didn't want to focus on the things that were left out. And how did I want to play the guy? Well, I knew that when we started, I kind of knew the first 3 years, the arc of the character, and then you just try to imagine how it would be like. It's a lot of thinking, a lot of. It's kind of a. I knew he was going to end up with losing his hand. I knew he was starting out with trying to kill this innocent boy. So there was this beautiful big arc. Also knew that in a perfect world you would be able to have the audience hate this guy in the beginning, and then in the end hopefully you would understand that, hey, he's maybe not all bad. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I like the improvement of the character over the seasons.
Well, the thing is,
development.
Yeah, I always usually I say that it's. I'm sure you guys could find a moment in your lives when you did something really stupid,
Yeah.
or something where you were actually being mean to someone. Now, what if the movie about you started with that moment, with that scene? It might take a while in the movie before you realize, hey, he's not all bad, she's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she was such an idiot there, but now she's actually okay. And that's what I liked about the opening for Jamie Lannister, because it's like you just go, wow, he's the worst person I've ever seen. There's always you shouldn't. What's the saying? Don't judge a book by its cover, right?
I like that.
So, since you're working with UNDP,
Yes.
what motivated you to become a UNDP Goodwill ambassador?
Well, they asked me. That was enough motivation. No, I mean I'm my whole life I'm interested in the world I live in. I'm interested in politics, and I think it's very important to be invested. So obviously with the success of Game of Thrones, they called and I thought that was something I would really like to do. I think these 17 global goals are very important to all of us, to the whole world, and we need to raise awareness and learn people, and that people need to learn about these goals. So it was a no-brainer. Obviously, I wanted to do what I can.
Speaking about the goals,
Yes.
you recently dedicated a whole month to climate change and gender equality. What are some of the issues you dealt with, and what can we do to help as individuals?
I think. I mean, it's one of those things where you can do something in your everyday life. When it comes to gender equality, obviously, as a boy, you have a responsibility to not take anything for granted when it comes to women, to always include girls. I've learned a lot since I became a Goodwill ambassador a year ago. I come from a country where there's a very high level of equality. There's still there's things that needs to be improved, but to learn on a global scale how far we are from that goal, how on the level that women are discriminated against on a global level is just mind-boggling. And so I think it's very important for all of us, young people as well, to educate ourselves, to learn about these things, to as boys especially understand that what it means to be, to show empathy, to understand what it means to not have the same freedom as you do. So I think us men have a huge responsibility. When it comes to climate change, the same thing. It's happening. We can measure it. It's not like, And I just want to focus on the facts and scientists. I believe if you have people that dedicate their lives to work on something, we should listen to them, and then we have to act. And it goes from, it's basically, I think the key word is it's the sustainable development goals, right? It's kind of use common sense, right? Don't overspend, don't use too much, don't throw stuff out, all those things. So I think it's every little thing that matters.
So, one of our last questions.
Okay.
Been here for a couple of days. So, what do you think of Thailand and our school NIST, and what will be your long-lasting impression?
I've met a whole bunch of very, very nice people, and I think that's the one thing I'm going to take away. Very friendly, kind, open people. I've also met some very dedicated young people in this school. I've been very impressed by this whole program. I would wish that every school in the world was like this school, because the engagement and the you seem to have fun as well, which is you do some really important work, and you like it. It also seems like you actually like each other. You take care of each other. So I'm gonna take that with me.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.